Hey everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. Today is Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. I had to come here and make this video. This is regarding a very famous clothing brand that was found out. Well, I'm not, I don't want to tell you everything just yet, but I'm laughing because it's such a big, popular company and they right there openly selling you, basically, merchandise for the enemy, right? Before I continue, I want to say thank you to everybody who's listening using Spotify. Don't forget to follow the podcast on Spotify. That really helps me as a creator. And also leave a comment. Everybody who has been following me on Apple Podcasts, thank you so much, everybody. It means a lot. I just hit my face with the microphone, but I was going to say thank you so much, everybody who has been following me using Apple Podcasts. I see you. I want to thank you for doing that. And don't forget to continue to do that and also leave a comment. And of course, everybody who's watching this video right now on YouTube, guys, you guys know that I am a fashion designer, right? Trying to use my gifts and talents to glorify the Lord. And I've been doing this for a while now, right? It's been a very tough journey, very hard, but as God knows who I am, I'm very patient and I do take my time to do things and all of that. So, we'll see where we're going with this, right? Where God is taking me. But it's so crazy because throughout the years, I have heard so many opinions of people, right? And I will say to you this. Sometimes you think when you set out to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with your gifts and talents, and my thing is fashion, right? With fashion, putting messages on T-shirts, putting messages on dresses, and things like that. Don't The thing that surprised me the most, right? Even selling jewelry that say inspirational messages, the thing that always surprised me the most, and I noticed that first when I began, right, back in 2014, I believe. The thing that surprised me the most was to see how I got so criticized by our own believers, right, our own brothers and sisters, and people that were basically saying, um, "Oh wow, I never seen anything like that. Can you tell me more why you're trying to glorify the Lord with your gifts and talents?" The people that I guess you can say don't have that relationship with the Lord, they were so willing to help me out basically, and they were so supportive, I guess you can say inspired by it. And I would never I could never believe that that was happening because I'm like, sometimes when you set out to share the gospel, you think you have an army behind you of people who, you're like, oh, in church, I'm surrounded by believers. And now that I'm here, and how come these people are not backing me up, basically, right? Because you think let's just say you're in a New York subway train cheering the gospel, and you think if there's another believer there, they're gonna, if somebody starts arguing with you, they're probably gonna join in and defend you, guy, basically, or they're going to be like, yeah, I agree with everything she's saying. I'm a believer too. Don't be surprised when people that also believe in the Lord will be quiet. And I needed to share that with you guys. I don't think I have shared that recently, but I've seen so many things, right? I've seen so many things throughout the years, and I just wanted to share that because this company, like I said, is called Shein. It's very famous. I think that's how you pronounce it. It became, I don't know how long they've been around really. I don't know their history. I know it's mass production, right? So I know that, meaning that you can get very cool, trendy fashions, but it's mass produced. So really, when they make 300 dresses, and they sell it for $20, that the workers are not getting anything basically, right? Like, what is, when you compare the margin, the profit margin, you're like, wait, they're paying the people who make the clothing like 3 cents basically, right? That's always something that you have to think about. I know we like our deals and all of that, but this company, anyways, side note about that, this company, I saw somebody talking about it on TikTok, how they are selling very basically, I don't want to call it demonic, but it's merchandise saying, the enemy loves you. But I'm saying the enemy to be more sophisticated, I guess, to be more clean with that name. this company is selling t-shirts, plain t-shirts that say so-and-so loves you and accepts you as how you are. And you need to understand this company is global. This company is so big, right? And so influential. They send clothing to like influencers. They have millions of followers, and even musicians, right? They're always advertising this brand, right? And it's just when you see something like that, somebody like me, that it's kind of hard to find people to support me. That's just the plain truth, right? You look at that and you're like, wow, these people are, people always tell you who they are, right? And these people are basically telling you, we're gonna also support to sell this T-shirt that say they have demonic symbols, right? They have a lot of T-shirts, right? So it's demonic symbols. I want to see if I can get photos to show you. Saying, the enemy loves you no matter who you are. The enemy accepts you. Imagine a child reading that, right? And because like I said, I'm saying the enemy, but they're saying it, clearly what it is, right? And imagine a child or a teenager growing up that's a little confused basically about life, and they see a t-shirt like that by a big global company that is so trendy because it has a lot of influential influencers talking about their brand. And people, it's such a, I don't even know how to explain it. When I see something like that, I'm like, wow, can you believe it? Not because they're successful, nothing like that, but this, talking about my brand, Julissa Designs, people will look at that and criticize it to the T. You're trying to make off money by selling stuff that say God or something. You're trying to do this with it. You're trying to do the other. Like I heard it throughout the years, right? And the crazy thing is that you hear that from people who actually believe in the Lord, right? And then when they see something like this by a big global company that makes billions of dollars, right? And they plainly tell you in your face, right? Catering to millions of people, basically telling you, we are going to sell t-shirts that say the enemy loves you, this and the other, because that's what we do, basically. And then you have a conversation with people about that, and they're like, what you expect for them to do? This is the world, right? It's like, don't you see the problem? They're calling evil good. Okay, and good, they're criticizing what's good, right? And it's so crazy to see that. But one thing, they always tell you in your faces. People always reveal who they are. You have to pay attention. Sometimes you have to act like you don't notice things, and then you just have to be really, you're not fooling anybody, right? I remember I used to work at this department store, and I used to decorate the mannequins, right? And one day I'm in the teenage session, right? I'm dressing mannequins, this and the other. And then I'm like, wait a second. What's the deal with this t-shirt? What is this symbol? What is it saying? And once you stop and pay attention, look at some of the symbols that they use, and you're like, oh my Lord. There's a lot of, it's right in our faces so much that we're missing it. We don't even see it because it's just so common, so commonly accepted, so publicly accepted, so everywhere, right? Like, why would you put that on a t-shirt, right? And cater to massive of people who shop online, who watch influencers do that, right? It's so crazy. And it's another reminder how that's how the enemy, gets you. And that's why you have to be careful also to know what companies you support, right? And I'm not saying for you to check every label before you buy anything, because, I mean, we can, that will really drive us crazy. We can start by cars. We can start by, what paint we use. We can start by our computers, right? Our iPads and all of that stuff that you're like, who are these people really celebrating? So what you have to do is just, pray about everything, right? But you have to also know if something feels soft about something that you're about to purchase, right? Or something you're about to do, you pray to God about it, right? Always ask God for your guidance, because it's, I feel like the enemy is not hiding anymore. And people who support him or who have acquired a lot of things by supporting him, because that's biblical too. Because, when he saw Jesus in the desert and he was hungry, he said, he started offering Jesus, like, the kingdom of this and the other, right? And people do acquire a lot of riches, obviously not everybody, through worshiping the enemy, right? And if you, like, if we begin to start looking at labels, like, it will drive us insane. But that's why we have to pray about everything. But if something is so openly right in your face, why are you supporting that, right? You call yourself with a Christian with one hand. I don't want to show my hand. I was just doing pattern making. My hands were, trash, basically, because I mess up the pattern. This is I know, I mess up the pattern, and I started, I used a blue marker and my hands were like covering that. But the whole point that I'm saying is this. Sometimes, but it is with the things that I'm trying to do with Julissa Designs, right? Sometimes I will, like, when I will do like events and I will set up a table and it will be like people will be so hesitant just to buy a $5 necklace. Like, are you serious? It's $5, right? But then they see this massive company and they're like, oh, I want 10 of the t-shirts, right? And then this company supporting the enemy. You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy, but it's trying our faces, right? Trying our faces, and we're so used to it, like we don't even see it anymore. We don't even notice it. I think as the day continues to go the way they are going, where things are just right in our faces, things are getting, like, wow, sometimes things happen. You're like, oh, wow, this is actually happening right now. There's a lot of people protesting about, people, I believe it's Gaza, they're not getting the food aid that they need. I mean, they're running after the ace just to get a little bag of flour to have something to eat. That really is crazy. I'm looking for like an organization that, that I can put probably the link here so people can donate to them or something, right? But it's so crazy because sometimes they do have the aid and it's even distributing the issue. So the whole thing that I'm saying is, like, there's so many things in the world that are happening that we know that Jesus is coming back soon, right? And when you see a company like this making t-shirts dedicated basically to the enemy and distributing it to the world, right, to buy and wear, and the teenagers to look at and wear them, right? And some people can say, oh, it's AI, because we can get so dismissive. We can get so dismissive, it's crazy. It's almost like people don't want to accept, like, dude, they're telling you they're worshiping the enemy. Oh, they don't mean that. It's just nothing, right? And this is the thing now. Sometimes we don't look at things for what they are when we should. Like, man, they're telling you it's for him. They're telling you it's available, and people are talking about it, and you're going to be like, oh, it's probably AI. It's nothing. I actually went on their website and saw it, because I'm not going to come here and tell you about something and then find out it was actually a funny guy making a TikTok about it, and it's actually AI, right? I actually went to their website and saw a listing for all the t-shirts that I'm referring to. And it's just so sad that this is happening. But that is our reality, and that is the enemy doing his work, basically. So let me know guys what you think about this. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to the channel. Thank you to everybody who's listening to the podcast. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.